last week I read a really great article called How to Savor Life on zenhabits.net. And I love that website, by the way. I will link the article down below. I highly recommend reading it. But this idea of how to savor life, of savoring your life, savoring the moments you experience, just really caught my attention, and I just found it to be such a beautiful idea. And I don't know about you, but have you had this experience where when you read something or have a conversation about something, and then all of a sudden in the next few days, that idea keeps popping up everywhere, or you see proof of it everywhere? And that's kind of what happened to me. I was watching Million Dollar Listing New York with Alex a few days ago, and if you haven't seen that show, it's about the top real estate brokers in New York City, and one of the stars of the show, Frederick Eklund, who I just really love him. I love his personality. Alex was actually laughing because he was doing something in the show that I always do, and I was just laughing at it as well. And basically what he did, and he does this all the time, he checked into this luxury hotel, and the first thing he did when he walked in was he picked up everything and was just like, oh, this is so beautiful. Or he was kissing the walls, and like, I don't do that, but he was like on the floor, like kissing the floor, and he's just very outgoing, but he's very vocal about appreciating all of the beautiful things in that moment. You know, he opened up the doors of the patio and went to look at the Eiffel Tower, and he was just soaking in how beautiful that moment was, and just, you know, saying, wow, like, this is beautiful, like, I'm so happy to be here, I'm just, you know, enjoying this moment. And it just really, that scene that I was watching with Frederick really symbolized savoring to me. And it doesn't have to do with the luxury, it doesn't have to do with the specifics of his experience. It was more about how he was experiencing what was around him. And something that I really liked about it was the fact that Frederick has been very, very, very successful for probably more than a decade. And the fact that to this day, when he, you know, experiences something, whatever it may be, just to see how appreciative he is of it, and how he still likes to take time to savor little things and little details, and to take the time to acknowledge the specialness of whatever moment he's experiencing. And I just really like that characteristic. And then I just started thinking about savoring in general, and how we can take that kind of quality of a zest for life and enthusiasm for moments of our lives, and we can take that into the simplest little details of our day, like, you know, sipping a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and actually savoring that moment, savoring whatever it is that makes that moment special to you. You know, I like to think about savoring moments, and I try to savor the moment when I take nature walks. For me, that's a very easy moment to savor because it's quiet, it's peaceful, and I get to see, you know, visually all the nature around me, and it makes me appreciative to be on this planet and to be able to enjoy these beautiful sights. And I basically wanted to make this video as a reminder to you that it's up to you how you experience the moments of your life. You know, it's more about the how than the what's. You can take the exact same experience, like going to work, getting in your car, going to meet with a friend, having your breakfast. Those are the what's, you know, but it's up to you about how you experience those things. You know, it can be very different to eat a meal in a rushed state where your mind is elsewhere, you're looking at social media, you're not paying attention to the food or that moment at all. Maybe you're actually not even there in your mind, but you're just going through the motions. That's a very different experience than taking the time to appreciate and savor that moment, savor that food, to smell the fragrance of the food, to enjoy the flavors of it. And I just think that it's a beautiful idea, and it's a beautiful concept to actually take time to enjoy your life, essentially, because these moments, these small moments that might seem insignificant, and they might seem monotonous, like I eat breakfast at my kitchen table every morning for the past, 1,000 mornings. So what's so special about it? But to actually take time to say that this is a moment I want to savor of my life. This is a moment that I want to be present fully and actually get bliss out of. I know that might sound silly, like how can you get bliss from it? But it's all about your own interpretation of the moment and what you want to get from it. And I just love that kind of a zest for life. I just think that that's something that I personally want to work on more, is to just take the time to be present and to savor this beautiful life that I am, able to live. And I wanted to make this video as a reminder to you to maybe take some time today and try to savor a moment. And another memory that kind of came up for me from my own personal life when I was thinking about this idea of savoring is when I was 15, my dad took me on a trip to Italy to meet some of our family who lives there. And my family's Italian, but I was born in Canada. And I still remember that first time I went to Italy. One of the strongest memories that I have is more about the feeling of the way of life that I experienced there. I definitely felt that people were living much more slowly, intentionally, and that there was a level of savoring things that I had not experienced before. Whether it was savoring a meal or, going on a walk, not just to get from A to B, but just choosing to go for a nice walk through the city at night after a meal and enjoy that moment. I just really felt that there. And it's not a generalization and to say that no one in Canada or America is like that, and that everyone in Italy is, but it was just my own experience of that trip. And I actually remember just falling in love with that feeling of savoring life and savoring the moments. And when I had to come home from that trip, I actually cried at the airport, and I just felt like I felt so alive there. I felt that sense of enthusiasm for life that was just at another level for me, and I loved it. And now I'm going to share with you some of the article that I really, really liked. This part is called Doing the Perfect Thing Right Now. A constant source of anxiety for most people in this day when we can do almost anything at any moment is, am I doing the right thing right now? Should I be exercising instead? Should I be checking what else is going on in my social networks? Are other people doing something better? Is there a better way to do this? A better tool, a smarter method, a faster way? When you savor, this anxiety can melt away. You are savoring this activity, so you let the thoughts of everything else go away and immerse yourself. You give it space and just do this and fully appreciate it. And so you know that you're doing the perfect thing right now, whatever it is, because nothing can be as delicious as savoring this moment. And I absolutely love that. He goes on to speak about eating mindfully and living in the present. And I'm going to share a quote from this article. As you walk and eat and travel, be where you are. Otherwise, you will miss most of your life. And that's from Buddha. And I hope you enjoyed this topic, and I hope you are excited to savor your beautiful life and to savor the amazing moments that you get to experience today. And I will put a link to that article in the description box down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.